What we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. This is Exposé coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria, every Monday on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously. And I'm your regular host, Tony Akinyemi. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. Hello and welcome to Exposé. Today is another wonderful episode as we continue in this season of exercise and fitness and wellness and what have you. We are bringing another layer and another dimension today and hopefully next week. And I pray that what we are going to be sharing again will be of immense benefit to you, as it has always been on every episode. This has been brought to you by the Shepherd's Flock International Church, and I'm your regular host. Tony Akinyemi is my name. What we need is not more medication, but more education. The best prescription is knowledge. Today we have a guest in the house who will be talking to us about another form of, shall I call it therapy, another protocol, another layer to our wellness journey. And he is in the person of Dr. Ikechukwu Emmanuel Agu, and he has a product that does many things for our wellness, which he will be sharing with us today. I've been reading about saunas and different kinds of saunas and what have you. I have a sauna in my house, by the way. I've had it for many years, and but this is a different kind. I've been reading about it, and I never experienced it before until Dr. Agu came along. That's far infrared sauna. And he will be talking to us about the mechanism of action. He'll be talking to us about the various benefits derivable from using this particular sauna and many other pieces of information of relevance to each and every one of us. I want you to sit back, fasten your seatbelt, and enjoy this episode today on Exposé. It promises to be another life-transforming experience. And in case you are blessed and you are impressed, you may want to get one for your house so that you can also enjoy it. And particularly those who are clinicians, medical practitioners, medical doctors, orthodox doctors, alternative medical practitioners, naturopathic doctors, chiropractic doctors, even massage therapists and wellness centers. These are all the different places where a far infrared sauna, I believe, will do wonders and will be very helpful as part and parcel of the many things that one can put in place for people's wellness. I mean, people are becoming aware every day, more and more aware of different protocols and different things that can be of benefit to their health. And this is just one of them. So join me to please welcome our guests to Exposé today. Dr. Agu, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Good to have you here.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, by the way, before we go on, he will introduce himself as we always do. I also want to let you know that he's also a graduate of the Rafa Institute of Healthy Living. Isn't that wonderful?
Thank
You're
you,
welcome
sir.
here.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so please, can we meet you? Our viewers would like to meet Dr. Agu. Who are you? What did you study? What's your background? How did you come into this? And then what do you have on offer for us today?
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here today. You've been someone I've always looked up to. Like you rightly said, I also went through training in your institute. And it's kind of defined and created the channel that led me to where I am today.
Right.
So when I first met you a couple of years back, someone was playing the CD in his car.
Oh.
Several years ago. And I told him, please, I'm interested in this voice. How do I get more of this? So he now connected me to Omowumi, then in your bookshop.
Okay.
So I spoke with Obome and I ordered for all the CD on all the series you had handled. Bought some of your books. In fact, on one of them I was in Port Harcourt. On one of my trips to Lagos, I came to the bookshop and I bought everything that was available, all the newsletters.
Wow.
And I kept playing them over and over, and it's broadened my understanding and further encouraged me to go the way I have gone. So you've rightly mentioned my name. I'm Ikechukwu Emmanuel Agu. I'm a naturopathic physician.
Right.
So I have had wide and varied trainings with some institutions like the Katsu University in Sri Lanka.
Right.
I also attended Tianjin University in China.
Right.
I did a program with ICT University in the United States of America.
Okay.
I schooled with Green Center Academy of Natural Medicine. And I've had some other trainings like the one I had with Lagos State Traditional Medicine Board.
Right.
I've also trained with some other institutions like Heshotan has a university where they train you on telemedicine, and how you can diagnose online, even without necessarily meeting with the patient.
Okay, right. That's where things are going, the direction things are going now.
Right here in Nigeria, I've been attending to some people in Canada, people in US, and several other places without necessarily having to meet them one-on-one.
Right.
I've been practicing for some number of years. I've also been privileged of serving with some organizations. I've been the in-house doctor for RF3 World. It's a Malaysian company. It's an international organization.
Right.
I've also been the in-house doctor for Heshotan. By the way, Heshotan is a wellness organization based in the US, but with factory in Canada and in Asia. That's China.
Right.
Then currently, I'm the in-house doctor for Lilong International.
Right.
Lilong International is an organization that is into energy medicine.
Right.
Yeah, Lilong has been in existence for over 20 years, but in 2015, they went full-blown into the field of energy medicine, and they are more or less key players and almost the world leader in energy medicine.
Right. I want you to take a little time to explain, because some people might be hearing for the first time today, energy medicine. What is energy medicine?
Yeah, energy medicine, I'll bring it down to a layman's understanding so that I do not speak above them. Our bodies need energy to function. In traditional Chinese medicine or naturopathic medicine, it is understood that our bodies function as a result of energies. These energies run through pathways we call meridians. And if you are familiar with some modes of therapies like acupuncture, what they seek to do is to ignite energy points, which they call acu points in our bodies. Because before disease conditions set in, it means one has lost energy. There's a depletion, and invariably you've been thrown off balance. So when there's a kind of igniting, there's a stirring of those points, and energy is reinvigorated, wellness takes place. So by energy medicine, we have come to realize, after series of researches had been done, that our living conditions, our lifestyle, most of the things we eat are no longer organic, they're no longer natural. So the energy they're supposed to give to our cells, tissues, organ system are no longer there. And as a result, some debilitating health conditions and challenges come in. So energy medicine seeks to restore back these energies into our bodies. So we have so many modes of it. Many are conversant with some pendants, some biodiscs. All these seek to energize our bodies to make us whom we ought to be so that we can function optimally.
Thank you so very much for that. Now we want to go into the particular product that I want you to talk about, which is the far infrared sauna. So First of all, help our viewers to understand what is this infrared all about before we start even talking about the far one. Is there a near one?
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So please break it down.
Okay. So the technology behind what my company, Lilong International, promotes is called far infrared spectrum energy rooms and far infrared spectrum energy buckets.
Okay.
This is how it works. After years of research, they discovered that one of the major causes of disease conditions in humans is because we do not have ample exposure to the energy coming from the sun.
Right.
So because when God began the work of creation, we are Bible-based, the first thing God said and did was light. Let there be light. And the Bible says there was light. So because God in his wisdom knows that without the sun being made, nothing else will be able to exist and survive on the face of the earth. And so he had to put that in place so that every other thing he does, can move from there. And so about technology, science, and cultural beliefs and practices has made us deviate. In fact, the Bible rightly said it that man goeth to his work from the morning till the evening. And that was the practice and the culture, what our forefathers did.
Yeah.
Early in the morning, they go to farm, they bathe themselves in the sun and return back in the evening. And we didn't have advanced medical interventions as we have it today, but they relatively lived long and were naturally healthy. So same thing of things with animals we find in the bush. No veterinary doctor or physician looks after them. So, but they are generally healthy. So because they're always in the open, in the field. And permit me to say that the food we eat, it is actually the energy they have tapped from the sun through photosynthesis and all the processes that we now ingest.
As end products.
Yes, as end products. That energizes us to make us live optimally. But unfortunately, most of these things are now modified. Some perversions have come in, and some methods of...
When you say perversions, I want you to clarify that as well.
Okay, that's a big word. By perversion, I mean processing. They bypass some natural sequence and order.
Does that include genetically modified organisms?
Yes, to some extent, yes. Growth hormones, steroids are now used. So, and the quest for profitability, people no longer allow things the right span of time God had ordained, all in the bid to amass wealth. Things are now prematurely harvested for profit. So they do not get the load of energy God intends that they should have before they are now ripe and fit for human consumption. So when we end up consuming these things, we inject them, you discover that our bodies no longer get what they should get from them. And as a result, we have depletion and we fall sick. So you did mention this is far infrared. Do we have near? Yes, there are 3 types of infrared. We have the near infrared. That has to do with, by the way, when we talk about infrared is more or less light. So far infrared has another name. It's called light of life. Because it is adjudged as the main source of our existence. Without it, life cannot really exist. So we have near infrared. Near infrared is the visible light. And it does not penetrate into our bodies as supposed. Then we have the second infrared, which is tagged medium infrared. That has a little deeper penetrating effect. Then our company chose far infrared because it has deep penetrating effect. In fact, research has it that it can penetrate as much as 3 centimeters to 5 centimeters beneath the subcutaneous layers of our skin.
That's
so
why it's called far
infrared.
It goes very far.
Very far, deep, and gives us what we call deep massage effect.
So
deep tissue
it goes
effect.
into the tissue.
Yes, deep tissue effect.
Essentially, we're talking about light therapy here.
Yes, light therapy.
So that will fall under the category of phototherapy.
Yes, phototherapy, electromagnetic therapy. So, but the rays this time are not evasive. It's called gamma rays. So it's biotic and has no side effect.
Okay, good. We're going to go on a short break. We are already halfway. Time flies so So that's why I said you will do 2 episodes with us, because
no problem.
We almost are unable to cover all the grounds in 1 episode.
No problem.
Yeah, because we want people to get this thing very well. And thankfully, you have been able to explain what this infrared thing is all about, and far infrared. After this break, we will move into describing to us what these energy rooms and energy buckets are, what they look like. I believe that our technical crew will be able to show us images of what these things are when we come back. And then you will tell us the health benefits, the various benefits derivable. Who can benefit from using these far infrared saunas. Then, hopefully, if we're not able to finish in this episode, in the next episode, we'll be talking about the mechanism of action. How does it work? And then we will look at the contraindications at that time. But the main thing we're going to be focusing on today will be the benefits. What benefits do I stand to derive in using it? How often should I use it? And blah, 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 blah. Don't go away. We're going to be back very shortly.
How far can you go on your own? How fast can you run on your own? We take you far. We take you high. We make it fast. Divine Impact Summit takes you far, gives you speed. DIS, where divinity meets humanity. Maranatha, the King is coming soon. DIS 2022.
Discover fundamental truth that will transform your health and empower you to live a life void of sicknesses in this new book by Reverend Tony Akinyemi, Nature vs. Nurture. Get a copy to experience it for yourself. Please visit TSS Bookshop now to grab a copy.
Rafa Institute of Healthy Living presents Healthy Living Module 3 Training. Date 17th to 20th of November, Wednesday to Saturday, 2021. Join Reverend Tony Akinyemi and his team of seasoned professionals for this life-changing training. The time is 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. daily. This would allow you to have returned from office and settled. Please note that this training will be held on Zoom. Training fee is 40,000 Naira and the early bird registration is 35,000 Naira. Module 1 graduates are eligible to attend this training. What you will learn includes cancer prevention strategies, colonic irrigation and enema, vitamin C, benefits and channels of administrations, alternative cancer protocol, natural bioresources for health, cancer, the types, causes, incidence, characteristics and stages, environment and our health, etc. For more information, please call +234 902 976 6076 or +234 806 702 0412. Thank you.
Welcome back. This is Exposé, brought to you by the Shepherd's Flock International Church. I'm always your regular host, and I'm honored to be. My name is Tony Akinyemi. What we need is no more medication, but more education. The best prescription, of course, is knowledge. To be informed is to be transformed. To be uninformed is to be deformed. We have in the house today Dr. Ikechukwu Emmanuel Agu, who is a naturopathic physician, and he is talking to us about saunas, particularly far infrared saunas, the sauna room, the sauna bucket. He has explained the basics to us. Now we want him to progress into telling us the benefits, the health benefits, and in case there are other benefits as well, of using the sauna, the far infrared sauna. First of all, describe to us, what is it like? And then they will show us images, definitely. And then we will also want to show one of our guys here who will go into the sauna and they will capture him. And when he's coming out, also they will capture him.
That's a good one.
They can see exactly how it looks like. But then I want you to describe it and then go ahead and tell us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or more benefits that a person can derive, who can use it and benefit from it. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, like you have just rightly said, it is like a sauna, but frankly speaking, it's quite different.
Right.
In the course of my traveling nationwide, by virtue of the role I play as the in-house doctor for Lilong International, I've met a lot of professors in medicine. I've met medical doctors. I've visited some teaching hospitals in Nigeria where I've been interviewed. And we've had the privilege of showcasing what the product can do and what people stand to benefit should they use it or incorporate it into one of the things they use in their facilities. Basically, this far infrared energy spectrum room and bucket works by two main effects. The first effect is the effect we call the thermal effect, which is heat.
Right.
How does this work? It comes with, because when they did this research and discovered that we do not bathe enough in the sun, they now said, how do we get humans to enjoy what they are missing out, losing, by not exposing themselves to the sun? Are we going to compare people now to be walking outdoor? The answer, of course, is no. So scientifically, they were able to manufacture what we call carbon crystal plates.
Okay.
This carbon crystal plate has what we call high emissivity. That is, it emits far infrared. And the spectrum of emission it gives was carefully designed in such a way that it is the beneficial one that we get from the sun.
Okay.
The frequency and wavelength was so toned down that is similar to what our bodies naturally produces.
Okay.
Our bodies produce far infrared.
Okay.
So the frequency and wavelength is 8 to 14 microns. So it's not evasive. It cannot do us any harm or damage.
Right.
Now, when we sit in the energy room or we are putting our feet in the bucket, well, we call it bucket because you put your feet in it, they'll see the images of what they look like. The carbon crystal plate, when plugged to light, will be emitting far infrared.
Okay.
So that far infrared being emitted by either the bucket or the energy room is what we regard as the striking infrared. It fuses with the one our bodies produce and reinforces that our bodies produce. Our bodies now absorbs it as its own.
Okay.
Then it will go and incite the water molecules in our blood, the ions in our blood, the atoms in our blood, and we create a kind of motion.
Right.
While you're seated, you don't really feel it, but it is happening.
Okay.
In that condition, heat will be generated within. Then what we call vasodilation, that's expansion of the blood vessels, will now take place. So when that happens, you discover that circulation is enhanced,
Okay.
metabolism is enhanced,
Right.
and through the second effect we call resonance effect, our blood vessels opening up will lead to the pores in our bodies also opening. And that way, we begin to sweat. We are excreting waste, which is urea, uric acid that had been locked up in the body. So generally, we do encourage people to avoid dehydration, to make sure they take a lot of warm water before they use either the bucket or the energy room. Right. So that in the course of using the energy room, when the vasodilation takes place and the circulation is boosted, waste can be eliminated.
Okay.
So that's the way it works, by these two main effects, thermal effect and resonance effect.
Good, good. Now, which means that the far infrared bucket and the energy room is more or less simulating what the sun should have ordinarily
Exactly,
done.
exactly.
Can we then say that if somebody can make use of the sun, he doesn't need this one?
Well, if the person will be able to stay for the length of time
So which
required.
means that, these people we call grassroots people are really enjoying.
Of course.
We stay in air conditioners. We don't have time for, things that will benefit our health. We are chasing money.
Yeah.
We are locked up in our offices, in our rooms, and everywhere is air conditioned, and what have you. And there is no wonder the Bible says the Son of Righteousness shall arise with
Exactly.
healing
in his wings. Exactly.
Right. But so for those who have not been able to create time to do that, this is going to be a very good beneficial product that they can have in their homes, in their clinical settings, and what have you. Now, I want us to move on to the benefits, the health benefits. Do you know how many they are, the benefits? And can you take them one by one, and maybe spend a minute on each or two to explain the benefits in this regard, in that regard, that other regard, and what have you?
Okay. Generally, from the medical perspective, it has been discovered that disease conditions, we have well over 12,000 names of diseases. In Enugu, a couple of months back, I met this professor who trained in the US. He even runs a medical school in Nigeria.
Okay.
I wouldn't mention his name now. He said we should quote him, that there are over 1,200 chronic diseases known to medical science. And of these over 1,200 known chronic disease conditions, natural medicine, allopathic medicine has solution to just about 32. The rest is trial and error. But he said it authoritatively that this equipment can handle and assist with the management of all of these disease conditions.
Wow.
So in the course of my working with this company and moving around, I have not seen any disease condition that has not been helped by making use of these far infrared energy spectrum rooms and buckets.
That's a very, very far-reaching claim.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's verifiable.
Right.
So we have some evidences to back up what we are saying.
Right.
So we have had cases of people down with stroke, total paralysis, partial paralysis, and we have had people with high blood pressure, diabetic conditions, spondylosis, lumbar, cervical, the rest of them. We have had people with chronic pains have been helped. You call it headache, migraine. We've had people with asthma, upper respiratory tract infection, disease conditions, tuberculosis. We have had people with even pneumonia. We've had people with cancer, but not end stage. We have had people with fibroid being helped. We have had people with gangrene wounds. We have had people with, just name it, feverish condition, cough, and other disease conditions. Even the current issue globally we're all battling with, COVID-19, have been helped. Those conditions have been helped.
As a standalone protocol or in addition to other protocols?
Yeah, what we seek to do,
right,
we do not tell people to see it as a standalone protocol.
Okay.
So that it's not as if it is now a non-drug therapy,
okay,
because body status differ. Some might use it without any other supportive medication or therapies, and they get well. And so, but be that as it may, we do not now hold on to it as same size fitting all.
Okay.
So it rather boosts any other intervention people are receiving, be it allopathic, orthodox, or
therapy.
Yes.
Right.
So,
good. Now, do you have any experience with mental health issues? People who are probably suffering from generalized anxiety disorder, depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, any of those psychiatric, psychological, emotional, mental health issues. Is there anybody who has benefited from this?
Yeah, we have a few cases that have benefited. By the way, those whose cases are severe, we do not put them in is one of the contraindications.
Okay.
Someone that is not rational will not be allowed to make use of the equipment.
Okay.
But those who are relatively rational and could make use of the equipment, because from a medical perspective, science point of view, we discovered that most of these disease conditions that, like you are talking about, depression and some of these suicide tendencies and all that, they are caused as a result of hormonal imbalance.
Okay.
So research has also shown that addiction to excessive use of social media, cell phone and all this, they cause the body to secrete and secrete mostly the negative hormone that leads to these tendencies, like dopamine.
Okay.
So because this keeps people awake when they should be asleep, then it forces people to be under light when they should be in the dark. God in his wisdom give us light and give us dark. Yes. And so when we observe this in a balance, the body will secrete the hormone that heals, calms us down, and takes care of the wears and tears in our bodies. But when we, because of addiction, excessive use and abuse, misuse of some of these means of livelihood, which is in vogue now, we have excessive exposure to light, you discover that the body does not get to heal. Some of the hormones like serotonin, melatonin, and the rest of them will not be secreted. So that throws us into that tendency. And these disease conditions now setting. But in this equipment, we have, aside the far infrared that is being emitted, we have tourmalines and gemstones.
Okay.
Tourmalines and gemstones naturally emit 18 trace elements.
Right.
Which
Minerals
includes,
now.
that our bodies need in minute quantities so to help us function well and remain stable. Things like sodium, magnesium, potassium, iron, zinc, boron, the rest of them. So when people are using these equipments, those tourmalines, when temperature is raised by 1 degree, emits more.
Okay.
And since the pores of our bodies are open
already,
they easily get into our bodies.
So which means there's mineral or trace mineral absorption too.
Yes.
Through the skin.
Yes, through the skin.
You know, when you are in the sauna.
Both the far infrared energy spectrum room and the far infrared energy spectrum bucket.
Right.
You get all of these there. Then aside that, the casing is made from the cider wood.
Right.
And this cider wood is imported from Canada. And the wood is gotten from timber that had grown for over 100 years. It's loaded with a lot of essential oils. And one of the properties some of these essential oils have is that they give us that calmative effect.
Right.
It helps us.
Like aromatherapy.
Aromatherapy, exactly. Aromatherapy.
Right.
And so people are enjoying this combo all in one. So,
Now, which means that if you go under the sun, these other benefits are not
you
there.
wouldn't get that.
Yeah, so
You
these
wouldn't
are
get that.
bonuses,
Yes,
you know, that
extra,
come
yes.
along with that. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, fine. Yeah, again, we are getting signals now that we should begin to wind down today. I would have loved us to discuss these other ones, which is if somebody is preparing to go for a session, what are the preparations the person needs to make? Maybe we'll take that in the next episode. What
fine.
preparations does a person need to make? And then what are the contraindications? We will look at that particular one so that we are able to know who should not, attempt to use this, that it may not be. You have mentioned one of them, somebody who is not rational.
Yeah.
That's one kind of person who shouldn't go in there. And the session will last for?
It depends. It varies. We do what we call taking of vital signs and the clocking. We want to take your history.
Right.
We'll consider age. We look at are there existent disease conditions that should be managed or helped with. And so all of this determines how many minutes and the length of time. But generally, it spans between 10 minutes to 30 minutes on the energy room.
Okay.
Then for the bucket, it's between 30 minutes to an hour on the energy bucket.
Do they have the same effects?
They have the same effect. How big? The energy room is rather faster. It's like traveling by flight and going by road.
And going by road.
So you get faster results because you have the carbon crystal plate all over.
Around.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. This is how far we can go today. It's been Exposé, brought to you by the Shepherd's Flock International Church. And I have been your host, Tony Akinyemi. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education. The best prescription is knowledge. Thank you for spending your evening with us. We particularly welcome and celebrate those who have joined us for the first time today. And we also want to thank our veterans, our faithful loyalists who always come along with us every Monday evening, 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube, 8 p.m. Nigerian time on Exposé. In case you missed past episodes, you can always go back to our YouTube channel and watch previous episodes on Exposé. Also share this video with your friends, families, and enemies, and they will become your friends the moment you share this with them, because they will thank you for giving them such vital information for their own wellness. Do have a very wonderful week ahead of you. We hope to see you next Monday, same time, same platform. God bless you, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
How far can you go on your own? How fast can you run on your own? We take you far. We take you high. We make it fast. Divine Impact Summit takes you far, gives you speed. DIS, where divinity meets humanity. Maranatha, the King is coming soon. DIS 2022.
Discover fundamental truth that will transform your health and empower you to live a life void of sicknesses in this new book by Reverend Tony Akinyemi, Nature vs. Nurture. Get a copy to experience it for yourself. Please visit TSS Bookshop now to grab a copy.
Rafa Institute of Healthy Living presents Healthy Living Module 3 Training. Date 17th to 20th of November, Wednesday to Saturday, 2021. Join Reverend Tony Akinyemi and his team of seasoned professionals for this life-changing training. The time is 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. daily. This would allow you to have returned from office and settled. Please note that this training will be held on Zoom. Training fee is 40,000 Naira and the early bird registration is 35,000 Naira. Module 1 graduates are eligible to attend this training. What you will learn includes cancer prevention strategies, colonic irrigation and enema, vitamin C, benefits and channels of administrations, alternative cancer protocol, natural bioresources for health, cancer, the types, causes, incidence, characteristics and stages, environment and our health, etc. For more information, please call +234 902 976 6076 or +234 806 702 0412. Thank you.